Hello everyone, what's up guys? This is
No, I think if we open up the video like that, people are gonna be like, dude, these guys are...
We're just gonna keep it. We're gonna keep this one. We're gonna keep this one. Hello, welcome back. Awkward Arsic here.
Hey, it's Rich.
And we are back ranking the Marvel Cinematic Universe. This is gonna be the 7-1, so if you haven't seen part 1, go to his channel. We ranked 14-8, just because there's 14 movies. Next week is going to be Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. That's going to be the 15th movie, and we decided that we should talk about all these movies.
Yeah, I mean, well, because the first movie came out when? Do you remember the year?
2008.
2008, so it's been...
Sorry, 7.
7.
Yeah.
So it's been 9 years. 9 years? I'm not good at math. 9 years.
10 years.
Really?
2017 now.
Oh, shit. Oh, because you said 2007, my bad. Yeah, so I mean,
take that back. 2008. Iron Man.
2008. So it's been 9 years.
9 years, yeah.
So for some people, they probably started when they were really young. They grew up with this franchise. I was 14.
Hot damn.
How old are you, Rich?
2008. So I was 21. No, 20. 20. 9 years ago. Yeah. I was 20.
So this guy's way older than me, right? He doesn't look old though. That's weird. It trips me out.
But it is, yeah. Anyways, let's freaking get started. Starting with number 7, and my number 7 is freaking Iron Man.
I am Iron Man.
Ooh. Iron Man is my number 7. Definitely the best, in my opinion, best Iron Man out there. I would rank it 1, 3, 2.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If anybody else gives it another ranking, then you're wrong. It's not even
pretty much
movie subjective, but with these three,
it's one of those things where honestly, it's not even subjective. Like with this franchise,
it's just the quality of the film, right?
You have to go 1, 3, 2. Majority, I would have to say 95%, maybe even 99%. It would be 1, 3, 2 for everyone.
Yeah,
for this franchise. So, like I said earlier, Robert Downey Jr. is Tony Stark. This is the start of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and with Jon Favreau, and he actually fought for freaking RDJ to be Tony.
Let me just jump in.
It was gonna be Tom Cruise.
Number 7 is also Iron Man for me.
Ah, sweet. Why
so we can just talk about it. I figured I didn't want to interrupt.
Yeah,
but that's my 7. So he originally Disney didn't want.
It was supposed to be Tom Cruise.
Imagine that. Tom Cruise.
And Tom Cruise was supposed to be Iron Man, but he fought for RDJ, and then now you're like. Perfect casting. That's
really cool. That's awesome with Jon Favreau. And Robert just obviously is the definitive Iron Man. But
not too much action scenes. Not a lot. No. There was the only big one really was when he
goes back to to that base, right?
To that base.
Just, shoots the tank.
That was awesome.
And walks away.
And he walks away. Great, and the last fight scene with Jeff Bridges' character, I'm forgetting his name.
I forgot about that.
Wasn't that exciting?
Because he was in the...
he was in this...
He was pretty much in the suit that Whiplash was in the next one,
basically,
right? Like the bigger suit.
Yeah, exactly.
And chasing... They fly
up and then, so it wasn't too crazy, but this was all Robert Downey show. Yeah, it was all him that made this movie.
His snarkiness, his attitude is just...
Tony Stark all the way.
Yeah.
Tony Stark all the way. So that is both of our 7.
Both of our 7.
Iron Man, the original Iron Man.
The start of the MCU.
Exactly, the start of the MCU.
It's crazy how far we've come.
2008. That's insane, man. That is insane. All right, moving on along.
Yeah.
6. This is where I was like, yep. This again, I told you yesterday. I was texting this guy. I was like, 5 and 6 is flipping right when I was like,
I wonder if we have the same
finalizing everything. Yeah. Well, no, because this is where I told you my Thor is higher. Number 6 is Thor for me.
Wow, that one's crazy.
Like I mentioned, Thor was it's one of my top 3 Marvel superheroes.
You grew up with them, right? You read it.
Not so much I grew up with him, but when I got into comics, and I've mentioned that I love the Greek gods, that kind of mythology, Greek gods, Roman gods, Norse mythology, and all this stuff. And so when Thor came around, I was just like, dude, fucking Thor, man.
Yeah.
How dare you strike the son of Odin? And that was in the freaking Marvel Ultimate Alliance game. I would always use Thor, and then he has this long range freaking move where he just does this, and the freaking thunder everywhere.
Soulless machine! How dare you strike the son of Odin!
Anyways, Thor was awesome. Again, like I mentioned before, There's a lot more Easter eggs that I probably caught than you probably didn't.
I didn't catch shit.
And like I said, these movies are amazing and great, but I also rank these movies with like how much I know the character,
Absolutely.
how much I or how much am I invested in these characters. So Thor is my number 6th one, and it flips a lot with number 5, and you're gonna hear my number 5 soon. So
and that's really cool to see, like, because he mentioned in part 1 in my video how he was saying, because for me it's near the bottom of my list, but it's
wasn't
cool.
that your 12?
It was, I think 12 and 11, Thor, and then Thor: The Dark World or something like that. So it's crazy to see, like, it's cool to see other people really enjoy this because of different, things, for sure. And there's, I'm sure, a lot of people out there that don't know the source material either that really love Thor.
I
know my girlfriend, she actually loves the Thor movies. She really likes Thor as a character.
Chris Hemsworth?
And she's not...
awesome.
He's very attractive, man. But she's not one of those, like, the girls are like, oh my god, Chris Hemsworth. She's just like, no, I really like the character.
Yeah.
And it's weird because she's not a big superhero person. So she kind of resonated with Thor.
Right, yeah.
So that's that.
Number 6.
But it's cool. So my number 6 is Guardians of the Galaxy.
Whoa!
Yeah.
All right, didn't make the top 5, huh?
No, it didn't make the top 5. And there's a couple reasons.
Okay, go for it.
So, first off, I'm not the biggest sci-fi guy. We've talked about this before.
Yeah, you're not.
With the exception of maybe...
I am, so...
Yeah, you're big, really big into sci-fi. For me, I'm trying to think, like, Interstellar more recently, and that's kind of more fantastical sci-fi. So it was, I think, what I loved about it was the characters.
Yeah,
like anybody, right?
Yeah.
You had the chemistry between everybody was great, but I think everything else about that movie isn't that good. If you think about it in terms of, but then again, other Marvel movies don't have good villains either. The villain was terrible.
No.
Immortal! How?
And when I say not
He's
that
great
good,
in the comics though, but...
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't know. So when I say not that good and I make it sound negative, it's just like my expectations.
No, you're
when
right.
Everybody
Wasn't
was
that
saying,
good.
When everybody was saying that they loved it, and I walked out of it and I was like, oh, I really enjoyed it. But wow, like everybody loves this movie?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was the characters that has it so high for me. So yeah, that's my number 6. I think the characters are great. The visuals are great. Just the story and the villain and, that kind of thing is, whatever,
All right, cool. All right, now we're in our top 5.
Top 5.
This is the fucking gold right here. And it's funny because I from what I'm you mentioned Guardians, but all the top 5, all the list here, we pretty much have, it's either just ranked differently or maybe even the same. So, moving on along, my 5th movie, and again, this was flipping between Thor. Eventually this movie, just the way everything else in this movie worked, pretty much I had to put it up over my love for Thor, and that is AntMan. AntMan is my 5th one. Again, another awesome origin story.
That's my 5.
That's a bam!
That's my number 5.
Boom! All right,
I was like looking at my list. I was like, hold on. I was like, yeah, that's my 5.
Oh, we can handle it. We're professionals.
This movie was such a breath of fresh air out of the whole Marvel Cinematic Universe that the movie itself was just... It was hilarious. The way they marketed this movie too was freaking great. There's that train scene. So funny.
Killed me. That
so
sold me.
Funny.
They literally just could have played that little scene in a trailer and just said AntMan.
Yeah.
Genius.
Marketing was in this movie was brilliant.
Didn't show too much.
Didn't show too much. No, it was perfectly well executed. Peyton Reed did an amazing job directing this movie. And on top of that, the freaking cast.
Oh man, Michael
Douglas, Evangeline Lilly.
Oh, I was gonna say Michael Pena
Michael Pena also.
Pena, yeah.
Paul Rudd. I mean,
this.
No, I was gonna say Mark Strong, but it's not Mark Strong. What's his name?
The villain. What is his name? Black Jacket. Black Jacket.
Yellow Jacket.
Yellow Jacket. I thought he looked really cool. And like we've said multiple times before, Corey, but he's so
great.
Good.
Yeah.
And the thing about the villain is, we've always said Marvel doesn't have the best villains, but I'd say that this villain is probably a pretty good one.
He was a good villain that just ended, that pretty much just died.
Yeah, like generic motives, like any other villain, but the performance from Corey was really like kind of brought it, kind of like Charlize Theron in Fast and Furious.
Exactly.
You could bring that that level of
the level of freaking
charisma and all.
Exactly. Yeah. No, great movie again. Breath of fresh air, and it again freaking. I think they just hit it at all levels in this movie. So yeah, the 5th one. What?
Oh, I had to just throw this in as how we were talking about Marvel and their humor, right?
Yeah.
How like Iron Man 3 took it too far. Avengers 2 took it too far, where it's more about the humor than the story and the characters. I think what's cool about AntMan is you have Paul Rudd, who's way funnier than any of the other actors in any of these movies, but they didn't rely on his comedic timing. They actually developed the story and the character more, and then they just kind of had the humor naturally kind of flow.
And that's the thing too, it felt natural.
And that's
with all the characters, the way these characters were developed, and again, the way you said the humor felt all natural.
And you don't get that in all the Marvel movies.
No, not really.
So
and the fact that wait, what's that?
No, I think that's just what they did.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Awesome.
And for me, Michael Pena stole the show.
You know what I'm saying?
And I'm not saying he did better than all the other actors, but man, like every time he was just telling a story, the way his character is.
Yeah.
And you again, like you said, it felt natural, and boom, freaking AntMan, top 5, number 5 for me and Brian over here.
Yeah.
All right, so. Fourth one. This was tough. This was really tough. Again, top 5 was already tough, but this was tough. But eventually I had to rank it a little bit less than my third one. And my fourth one is Winter Soldier, which is crazy because I freaking love Winter Soldier. It came down to the point where I enjoy this movie.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a fun movie.
Yeah, definitely.
It was definitely a dark movie. That's the thing, which I enjoyed a lot more too. But
I would say it's the Dark Knight of the MCU.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And so it wasn't a fun movie for me, and that's not taking away anything from this movie. But I was just so used to all these movies, and then when this came out, I was like, damn, this is the best one. This is the best Marvel movie out there. But then other movies came out after that, and it was like, oh. Just kind of, a little bit, edges out a little bit, and the story in this was great, man. I thought the inclusion of Winter Soldier, his dynamic with Winter Soldier, just those two alone, Bucky and you got the bromance going on, man. The bromance going on.
I was like,
so
crazy.
Number 4, Captain America: Winter Soldier for me.
Got it. That's a good one. That's good. For me, number 4 is Doctor Strange.
Alright.
So, Doctor Strange surprised me just because the trailers look great, and I have a bromance type thing with what is that called? Not a bromance, but a man. What do they call it?
Man crush?
Yeah.
Man crush?
How can I not think of the word man crush? I have a huge man crush. I feel like I have a man crush with like 87 actors. That might be a little. That's weird, right?
No.
But Benedict Cumberbatch, one of my man crushes. But yeah. Doctor Strange, fantastic visuals. Like you were saying, it's very psychedelic.
Fantastic visuals, absolutely. Did we watch it in 3D?
We didn't.
We didn't.
The first time we didn't, and I wanted to watch it in 3D, and I never went back. So
if there's one movie, and I've always said this, if there's one movie.
Oh no, we did watch it. We did watch it in 3D.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying. That's the only movie besides Avatar for me
actually benefited from 3D.
Yeah, that I would only watch if I could in 3D. So the villain I liked.
I was about to say Malekith, but it started off. It's Mads Mikkelsen.
I like the villain.
Forgetting his name, the character's name though, but yeah.
Everything about it. The ending was not as conventional as other Marvel movies. How he bargained with Dormammu and how it kind of ended in a very weird way.
But I thought that was a great takeaway from all these other movies. It flipped the whole thing over its head because even just superhero movies in general, everything's being destroyed.
Yeah.
In this movie,
everything's
being
put back together.
And I'm just like, what the fuck? This is insane.
And it showed his intellect. I know, the battery's gonna die. Oh my god, it showed his intellect. Everything was really good. Oh my god, I was gonna say, this is gonna be, Benedict Cumberbatch is gonna be my Robert Downey Jr. in Phase 4. I hope that he's that snarky guy that stays and doesn't like die off or something. Because to me, I like him more than Iron Man. So that's
there we go. There we go.
Alright, so that was my number 4.
Yeah. So, top 3.
In the big leagues.
Insane. The big leagues. It's funny because you already mentioned my third one.
Yeah.
And if you probably put together, maybe you can guess it. But my third one is, again, you came out of the movie, you enjoyed it, everyone loved it. I was one of those people that did love it. And it's Guardians of the Galaxy. And
they call themselves the Guardians of the Galaxy.
What a bunch of a-holes.
Here's the thing, I do have connections to these characters before this movie came out.
Oh, so you actually knew the comic?
Yes,
you knew them.
I knew them. Okay. I knew the Guardians of the Galaxy. Anyways, when they announced that they were making Guardians of the Galaxy, I was one of those people. I was like, "Fuck yes, yes, this is gonna be awesome." And I knew right away this is gonna be awesome. And then they started naming all the casting. I'm like, "Oh, this is gonna be freaking gold." I just wasn't sure about how people were gonna take it. Because I was like, well, there's a fucking talking raccoon and there's a tree. How are... It's not even how Marvel's gonna do, but how are people gonna...
Kind of like, are they gonna resonate with these characters?
And I'm just like, I don't know, but I don't really care because if this movie's made, this is gonna be so awesome. And then, like you said, first of all, the marketing in this was another amazing marketing. The soundtrack. I have never seen so many people that it's not so much they didn't know the song. Maybe they've heard it a few here and there from like
I'm one of those people that
an uncle
I
or
really
an
know.
older family member, whatever. I actually knew all these songs before this movie even came out. I am. I don't look it, but I am. Anyways,
he's 62. Guys.
I'm 62.
Kidding.
No, but I'm 29. I knew all these songs, and when they started playing all these basically 70s, 80s songs, I'm just like, holy shit. And it's so weird that it fits well with the movie itself.
Yeah.
The way James Gunn did all that. On top of that, James freaking Gunn.
He's a very creative, unique. He's not a typical director, that's for sure. He has his quirks.
But yeah, no, I enjoyed the hell out of this movie a lot. I am one of those people. It's like, oh my god, this is so fucking amazing. Yeah. And on top of that, the cast. The cast was amazing. They got each and every single one. Again, the casting in these Marvel movies,
I don't know how they do it.
Perfection. So yeah, that is my number 3. That's top 3.
Cool.
And just a little side note, for the longest time I had Winter Soldier as the third one.
So it's kind of going...
the fun factor flipped it. The fun factor flipped it, yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
So my number 3 is Avengers.
Okay.
So, fucking Avengers. Come on, I don't even need to say more. It's the first time we see all of those...
I think I already know your rankings.
Yeah? Did you see my thing?
No, I didn't see it, but it's just... If it's the Avengers, I already know the other two.
So...
Go for it, Avengers.
You just see all those superheroes together. The action shot, right, where the camera pans around all of them. That was amazing.
I had goosebumps when that happened.
It was...
I was just like...
just jizzing your pants.
No, seriously, Nerdgasm.
So funny, like the Thor, when Hulk punches Thor out of the screen, awesome.
Out of nowhere.
Loki, great villain. So that was, thankfully, for that team up movie, at least we had a really solid villain.
Yeah. Thor, Thor. Hulk bashing Loki around.
Loki at the end.
Beauty God.
Oh man, everything about that movie, I really can't think of anything wrong. And I think my rating when I got out of it was a 10. It's one of those. It's a 10 straight off the bat, and I saw it I think maybe 2 or 3 times in theaters. First time I saw it in theaters was one of the best theater experiences I've had in my life.
Yeah.
So
I think I saw it 5 times.
5 times. Yeah, it just goes to show, man. I think almost everybody that you talk to has seen it at least 2 to 3 times, if not more.
In theaters. Yeah. There's definitely that replay value, and that's why it made 206, 207 opening weekend.
I mean, Joss Whedon. Even though we were talking about in part 2, how it might not have been as good, and it was more. But you have to give somebody credit for balancing that many characters.
Yeah.
Also having a good villain. Also having a pretty. Just everything was just smooth sailing.
And since that's your number 3, that is my. And I already talked about my number 3. That is my number 2.
Okay.
The Avengers, and also the thing with the Avengers is that this was the culmination of. This came out 2012, I believe. So 4 years of creating and tying all these connective tissues for that to happen, because it's never been done ever.
It was just the
ever in movie history.
Kevin Feige.
Yeah.
Creative genius.
Frickin' exactly. And on top of that, Joss Whedon helped out too.
Yeah.
Jon Favreau pretty much started that whole thing. But yeah, Kevin Feige and the higher ups at frickin' Marvel. You guys are fucking geniuses, and you guys started something that everyone is trying to copy now. But then, let's say it, but everyone doesn't have that template, and you guys do. And this is why I'm ranking it my top one, or not my top one, but my second one, because it's the first movie that pretty much combined all these other movies, and it was successful. This is one of those movies where like it shouldn't have worked. But it did.
No, yeah.
It did. It freaking did. They found a template. They found that magic fucking powder, whatever the hell it is, and They freaking did it.
And when you put it in perspective like that, how it's like it was 4 years culmination.
Yeah.
It's crazy how big the universe felt
exactly.
after only 4 years.
Exactly.
So,
now it's even bigger, which is gonna be insane for Infinity Wars. So that's that. But yeah, Avengers is my number 2.
Number 2, and
That's
then
my
that was
number
my
2.
number 3.
That was your number 3, and again, like I said, I think I already know your number 2. I think I'm gonna say it's Winter Soldier. You are incorrect.
Yeah, it's actually the other way around for me.
Holy crap!
Yeah.
I'm not like, you know, like, oh, that's insane. But
it
man,
does,
okay, so
I can see why it seems crazy. So for
it's
me,
not as crazy, really. It's not as crazy, but it's
Yeah.
just I'm like, whoa.
yeah. So for me,
Okay.
my number 2 obviously is Civil War.
Wow. Okay.
It's let me double check, but I was like, yeah, in my head I was like, yeah, Civil War. I was like, yeah. So Civil War for me it's the funnest. It's the most fun I've had after Avengers, right? Like I think you think of Avengers and then AntMan was really fun, right?
AntMan was fun.
And then but Civil War had everything because you saw Spider-Man.
Black
and you saw Black Panther, who I love both of those characters. I'm so glad that they did them justice in this universe now. And I mean the AntMan scene, the airport.
Just the airport scene itself.
Because we know that obviously Civil War is your number 1.
Yeah, that's right. Number 1. Yeah.
So we can just talk about it. I mean the airport scene was what 17 minutes.
It's close to 20 minutes of just pure
action,
awesomeness. Like just nerd out, and again the inclusion of Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And they got Spider-Man right. I'm not saying they didn't get Spider-Man right before, but this is definitely the way Marvel. The fact that they're handling Spider-Man, they're like, okay, this is how their vision for Spider-Man is, and they got it to a T. They got it fucking perfectly.
They did, yeah.
Holy crap!
I mean, what else? Like, I mean, in that alone, you have obviously that airport scene.
The airport scene was
battle
amazing.
At the end.
The end, yeah,
freaking crazy.
With Cap and Tony. Holy crap!
Okay, this is the one
Holy
thing.
Crap!
I thought, like, if Civil War, if they killed
this was basically Avengers 2.5
for sure.
That's what it is.
If they killed off either Tony Stark or Captain America at the end, I almost thought Captain America was gonna kill Tony Stark at the very end when he puts the shield, but he doesn't do it. This would be my favorite superhero movie of all time.
Yeah.
But they didn't do that.
Yeah.
So, but that's the only reason it's a little.
Civil War was definitely. I mean, that's your number 2, and since I pretty much started, we were going back and forth. Yeah. That is my number 1. Civil War is my number 1. Again, the same thing, and it's funny because it's not an Avengers movie. It's still I love the fact that it's still a Captain America centric movie.
Yeah, they did a good job of.
They did a very balancing everything, and with the inclusion of Black Panther and Spider-Man, fucking genius. The Russo brothers. Again, coming off of Winter Soldier, which is now basically number 1, but we'll get to that. Like I said, like for me, it was the fun factor that eventually edged out Winter Soldier for me. But for the longest time, Winter Soldier was my top 1, you know. Yeah. But this definitely had more. It also had that balance of there were some dark elements here, but it was also there were some fun elements here, which was pretty much the airport scene.
Yeah.
And just seeing everyone else there with AntMan, Spider-Man, Black Panther, and everyone else and kind of fighting off was just pure heaven. It's pure heaven, especially for like comic book geeks.
I was like,
but then also
barking. Fuck, guys.
Fine, guys.
I was like, hold on. Stupid ass dog.
Freaking dog. But like I was saying, just pure awesomeness for both, I think, comic book people and just general audiences. Yeah. You know, like the fun factor in this was just off the roofs, especially the airport scene. Yeah, I can talk about the airport scene forever, dude. That was freaking great.
For sure. I mean, and I think what Civil War did, for sure, better than Winter Soldier. But I think it was their plan. It's not that it did it better, but
I don't think it did it better.
They did the fun mixed with that political thriller aspect, and like you said, it keeps that focus on Cap and like his morals and how he thinks.
Exactly.
No, it's wrong. Like they shouldn't control us. And seeing his shift entirely, because you know you see that shift in Winter Soldier, but having it kind of go opposite roles and having Tony Stark go against them.
Exactly.
That whole there was moments where I was like, you know what, Tony Stark actually is. I think he might be right.
It's one of those things where like, exactly, and so for me, that is my number 1. I was about to say Winter Soldier. Civil War is my number 1.
Civil War, that's
insane.
Solid number 1.
So number 1 Winter
Soldier. And I was
Winter Soldier.
look, this is one of those things you can ask me tomorrow, and it might change.
Again, dude, like the top. Again, like I said, my top 3 before was Civil War, still Avengers, Winter Soldier. There was a time where it was Civil War, Winter Soldier, then Avengers.
Yeah.
Guardians wasn't even in there. But then eventually I had to like, you know,
kind of like figure
it out.
Yeah, and that's the same with me with the Cap movies. At least the last 2.
Yeah.
Just because I think the reason why right now I'm saying Winter Soldier is number 1 is pretty much the relationship between Bucky Barnes and Cap, and how, you know, the first one showed off that friendship. The second one is them divided. It's darker, like you said. It's not a fun movie.
Yeah.
It's a great, exciting film, and the ship scene when he's on there and when he's fighting George St. Pierre.
Oh my gosh,
that's stuff.
Just that scene.
The grittiness, grittiness of him like throwing the shield, and you just see how like raw.
That's actually the very first. I mean, there's action sequences in the first Adventure, but that was the one where you're just like, God damn,
like it made
Cap
you,
is fucking legit.
Yeah, and it made him feel like everybody said in the comics, from what I hear, and people say he's a goody two shoe, right? Like
but he's also a badass too.
Yeah, so in my head I always thought like, oh, maybe he's not that cool of a character. But after this, I was like, no, this is the definitive. Like, this guy's a fucking.
Badass.
Like, I just nutted all over the place. So that for me is why it's my number 1. It was hard to pick between the 2. So tomorrow, Civil War might be my number 1, but today it is Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
And
that is that. That's freaking all the freaking movies, Marvel Cinematic Universe movies that we all freaking ranked. Holy crap, this was
14 of them.
14 of them.
So,
God dang.
15, number 15 coming out next week, like we said. There's going to be separate reviews on that on both of our channels, so check out his channel, Hey It's Rich.
Check out his channel, Awkward Arsic.
Yeah, man.
We're going to be doing a review for this, Fred.
I hope so. I'm going to try. I was like, I'm going to do it.
Yeah. Thank you guys for watching.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen, I mean, by now you've probably watched part 1 of this, which is on his channel. So. And yeah, this was fun. This was fun ranking all these movies. With the inclusion of Volume 2 next week, I don't know how it's gonna rank.
Yeah,
it's definitely gonna change for sure. But I don't think my top 5 is gonna change.
No, yeah.
I don't think so. Especially with the stuff that we've been hearing about Guardians. It's not my top 5.
Especially with me being not the biggest fan of the first one. So I think it'll stay the same, and Guardians will probably go somewhere. But yeah, let us know in the comment section down below if you enjoyed this type of video. It's a longer type video, definitely not a quick review. So let us know if there's a certain topic you guys might want to see or whatever. Tell us your rankings. For sure. Tell us your rankings. What is your 7 to 1, since we did, 8 to, or sorry, 14 to 8 and 7 to 1. What's your top 5 or your top 3? Yeah. Let us know in the comments below. And we will see you some other time. Some other time we're going to be doing something similar to this. So peace out. Bye. Bye.